Some stories just entertain us, others inform us, but a very small number of stories truly stay with us long after we've heard them. They stick around not because of what happened, but because of what they reveal. They show us something about people, about the choices we make, and about those quiet moments when life itself seems to ask a question and then patiently waits for our answer. These are not stories of spectacle or grand drama. They are stories with a deeper meaning. We live in a world that is incredibly loud, full of noise. Headlines scream for our attention. Images flash across our screens and disappear just as quickly. Stories move at a breakneck pace and fade even faster. But meaning doesn't operate like that. Meaning doesn't shout. It lingers. It waits for us to reflect. In aviation and in life, the most meaningful moments are rarely the dramatic ones. They don't announce their arrival with blaring sirens or flashing lights. They arrive quietly, often disguised as just another routine day. And that's precisely why they matter so much. Pilots are trained for years to notice what others might overlook. A subtle change in the sound of an engine, a tiny deviation on a gauge, even just a gut feeling that something isn't quite right. Meaning works in the exact same way. It often hides in the small details. It's found in a moment of hesitation, in an act of restraint, or in a difficult decision made when absolutely no one is watching. Some of the most powerful stories are the ones that never make the evening news. Why? Because from the outside, it looks like nothing happened. And yet, in that quiet space, everything did. Let me tell you a story. There was a flight once where nothing failed. No alarms went off. No warnings appeared on the screen. No emergency was declared. But one of the pilots felt uneasy. Not scared, just uneasy. A quiet, persistent feeling. Every instrument, every system was operating within its normal limits. And still, something didn't feel right. So, the pilot decided to slow the aircraft down. They double-checked everything, then triple-checked it. They delayed a routine decision just for a moment, to be absolutely certain. The passengers in the back never even noticed. The flight arrived safely, on time. No report was ever written. No praise was given. No one ever knew. But that non-event, that quiet story, had profound meaning. Because safety isn't always about reacting to a crisis. True safety is about noticing things early enough that you don't have to. It's about preventing the crisis altogether. Here's another story. A different flight faced a choice. Continue forward to the destination or turn back. Continuing on was the easy path, the expected one. But turning back meant massive inconvenience for everyone. It meant missed connections, frustrated and angry passengers, and a barrage of unanswered questions from management. Despite all that, the pilot chose to turn back. Not because a rulebook required it, but because it felt right. It was the responsible thing to do. As expected, no one on the ground applauded that decision. Some passengers complained loudly. Most people just forgot about it by the next day. But that decision carried incredible meaning. It showed that real leadership isn't about seeking approval or popularity. It's about accepting accountability, even when it's the harder road. These stories matter because they reflect something universal, something we all experience. We all face moments like this. Maybe not at 34,000 feet in the cockpit of an airplane, but in our daily lives, at work, with our families, in our relationships. We face moments where no one is forcing us to choose a particular path. Moments where the silence around us makes the wrong decision so much easier to get away with. True meaning is found in what we choose when the consequences aren't immediate, when recognition isn't guaranteed, when making the right decision feels lonely. These are the moments that define our character. They are the building blocks of who we are. When you look closely, the stories that really stay with us aren't about achieving perfection. They're about awareness. They're about someone noticing a small detail before it was too late. In aviation, those quiet moments of awareness can save lives. In the rest of our lives, they shape our character. They build trust. They define our integrity. That's why these small, quiet stories matter so much. Not because they are extraordinary, but precisely because they are so deeply, fundamentally human. They remind us of our own capacity for quiet courage and responsibility. Stories with deeper meaning don't demand our attention. They earn it, slowly and quietly. They don't rush to a conclusion. They wait for us to be ready, to be still enough to listen. And if you listen closely, not just to these stories, but to the world around you, you might just realize something important. The most meaningful story you'll ever have the chance to tell might be the one where, on the surface, it seems like nothing happened, because you saw something others didn't, and you chose wisely. Thanks for watching.